basically, if you can see. Hello there, cheeky potatoes. I'm just editing my first update after my treatment. I'm basically going to explain why in the last video my posture had changed or what happened during the treatment. And I'm sorry that if I repeat anything of what was in the other videos, but I'm just trying to explain the best way that I can. And also this, I am about a month behind. Hopefully the materials will be getting up as soon as possible though, now that the other videos are out of the way. So I hope you enjoy. Leave any comments down below that you want to, or any normal questions. And I would also like to know, I would like to do a Q&A one day, but I don't know if anyone would ever fancy that, so just let me know. And also I do have an email address that I can put up, that if you ever want to ask me any questions, maybe not in the comments, then you can also do that. I'm not a personal trainer or anything, but I just thought I'd let you know that. Just got a mini update to tell you. Yesterday I went to get my it's called bone work done, and basically the lady, she just put her hand on me, on like my leg and near the groin area, and she says like, oh yeah, that area's tight, and she could feel which areas were tight or not as well. So say like just touching like this and saying like, oh yeah, that's tight, like she just knew. And she said that mine was so bad, my pelvis is meant to be twisted, and mine was so bad that it was going from the front of my hip all the way down through to my bum. So say like when I was lying down on my back, and she could feel that, and she said that was really, really tight. So what happens is, she spent quite a while like moving my leg, so it's my left leg that's like really bad. And she was sat on the bed thing, and she told me to rest my leg on top of her, so she was kneeling, and she moved my leg into the, she said it's a position where, say like maybe the trauma happens, or in my case it's probably been since I was born, and she said there's not a lot you can do to fix that unless obviously you get that done, but there's no way, like by the stretches that I've been doing and everything, it's like you can fix it really. It's not going to change it, so it's probably why everything feels tighter or tight in those areas all the time. She moved my leg about, so she lifted it up a little bit and was moving it about, and like I could feel so much achiness in some of those areas. And it's not anything, when you have it done, it's not a deep tissue massage, it's not anything that's deep. I did say, because it is bone, it's a bit weird because it doesn't feel like a lot's moving. She like moved my hip on this side, so I was lay down on the side like how you would when you sleep, and she kind of got my hip and pushed it down, got my knees, so say like let me just show you. So say like when your knees are like this, and she pushed it together like that, but when I was lying down on the bed, and the same on the other side as well. And then she also told me that my coccyx was, so normally it's meant to go straight down or something like that. She told me it was basically off like that. So she it's like a bit, just say like where your bum crack is, a little bit at the top, and she like got her hands and sort of, she was pushing, I couldn't feel that she was, what she was pushing, I could feel it pushed down, but like yeah, it's really weird because you can't feel the thing moving, or it just feels like it's in a strange place. Then I got off the bed, like after she did all of that. Most of the time is actually spent on, I think, trying to find where the pain is and why the body is moving like it does. But it's like when you're actually having the treatment done, So you're fully clothed, just so you know anyway. I just thought I'd tell you that. So she's basically like pushing your bones about, but most of the time is spent on the actual, like, finding out where the problems are. And it's just like one of those things that you see and where it just looks a bit like it's magic, like you don't know what's going on, and at the time you can't feel a lot at all. Then she assessed me, like, after she moved the coccyx as well. She did things with my ankles as well, so she said they weren't moving a lot, and then she like did something to my foot, like pulled it a bit forwards and spun them about a bit. I stood up off the couch just because my problems are, like, she was saying that mine are quite, like, bad. She did this thing where I had to fall on top of her a bit, so all of my weight had, everything that she was doing, she wanted all of my weight to be on her. So it's a bit scary, obviously. You think that you might fall over, but it's so weird because my posture is normally quite forwards. I'm always like stood, and say like my sister describes it, because she's a person that sees me the most, as like stood quite forwards like that. And it just feels like when she told me to do this thing where I fall back, she found an area and like pushed down on it, and not even that hard at all. And you have to like take a big breath in and then like fall back on it a little bit. And when I stood up after that, it feels like everything's sort of going backwards a bit more, like just how I was standing. It was really, really strange. It started to feel like really heavy through my feet, and I'm just guessing that maybe all my weight's like sort of trying to. She said that when they do this, like your body tries to find, it knows where it wants to go. And then she did this arm. I can't remember if she did this arm or not. It's just so weird. Like, the treatment was an hour.
But it's like so confusing of like where she can find the pain, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just so weird, like I can't explain it.
She did explain to me that if people have ever, say if they've had like an injury or something and they go to her and they've said like, when she's unblocked it on that night, they have like dreams of things that happened around that time when it happened, and they tell her that as well. She did something to my arm where she twisted it a bit, but it didn't hurt, and she was holding the hand, but she was saying that my arm was going back on its own. But I don't know, it's so weird, and you're going to think like, oh, nothing probably happened. Before I left the treatment room, so she put magnets on my ankles, she just went like that on my pulse. She was like, oh, that's really low. She says your kidney energy is blocked. So if anyone is into like this sort of Chinese medicine things and about magnets, then I would really like to know a bit more about that. I thought it was quite interesting because she explained to me that your kidneys, so say like from your ankle up, all the way up from your back and up your bum sort of thing, that's where the energy of that gets blocked. So she stuck some magnets on my ankles. Basically, if you can see, so I've got like magnets, plaster stickers there, so that's for kidney energy. So yeah, if anyone knows about energies and things like that, then I would like to know what having blocked kidney energy means. The next treatment that I've got to have is acupuncture with a Swedish massage. The one that I had was 60 minutes and it was £60. So the back-to-back one, the acupuncture and the massage is 35 minutes, £35, and that's 75 minutes. So yeah, that's a little bit cheaper. But she said for me, I'll have to see how it repositions. But last night, I was sat on the sofa like I am now, and I started to get quite a bit more pain, like towards like bedtime. And I was in bed, and normally I sleep really, really, really well. I don't wake up that easily from anything, and yeah, I started to really feel like so much. I'm even feeling it now, like a bit of pain around my shoulders. I could feel like so much pain, like near my hip, and like just all down my leg. My foot, when I woke up, actually, I seen it was swollen. I had like some quite bad dreams last night as well. And also the thing is, when I woke up, it just felt like, yeah, I just don't ever wake up from sleep, like ever. And normally if I do wake up and one of the upstairs toilets is broken, I don't ever go downstairs to the toilet even if I'm desperate. And I actually went down there because I was in so much like awakeness from the pain, and I've never broken anything, so I can't say if it feels like it's swollen off that, but it felt like everything was a bit like inflamed, and it's still feeling a bit like dodgy a little bit, and my back, and you can just tell that everything felt like it was moving. And then when I looked in the mirror today, so like on my back I've got like back rolls, and they just weren't as bunched up as they normally are, and my back kind of looks straighter. But I think she was saying that it takes a bit of a while for everything to reposition. But I am going to maybe go back to her after my other appointments, but I'll have to see about that. But if anyone else has ever had this thing called bone work, or it's like bone manipulation done, then let me know, because it's really quite weird, because it's not muscle that you're moving, so it doesn't hurt, but it's like you just think, how can someone actually move someone's bones? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I am really feeling. Oh, and also this morning, like when I woke up, all of my like hip was like making cracking and popping noises, on my shoulder as well. It's like it feels like someone's put so much weight or something on there, and you're just so sore, and I can't explain it. It feels quite sore though, and it's something that's moved just a little bit. But obviously I'm 23 now, so it's probably been like that for 23 years. So just a bit of a mess. And she said that like my lower body, the muscles just kind of want to relax, but they're not. And obviously I'm working out on top of that. So yeah. So it's probably like they just messed up really badly, basically. And when she also said that my coccyx was rounded as well, but she said that that's quite common. But I just find it weird that my coccyx was meant to be like all the way down there. But actually I did fall down the stairs when I was about 15, and it was on my bum, and it really, 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 really hurted, and I couldn't actually sit down or stand up for a long time at all. But before that, I've always had problems walking, so that explains a lot. But it's good to know what your actual problems are, like properly. And yeah,